Question 33. For this one, we are given a side-side angle. So means we've got two sides and then an angle A. So if we were to draw this, it's we could go with the side of a 12, a 14. It's A. B is 14, and then what we know about the angle A is that it's 56 degrees. And so we want to know, will we be able to make a triangle? Will this be able to actually connect here? Depending, and again, this could be different angles. And so, is there one? Is there two? Right? So side-side angle. Determine whether given measures produce one triangle, two triangles, or no triangle at all. So it could be possible that there wouldn't be any way for them to connect. The way we know, we've got three pieces of information, and the one we're missing, and what we have is we have big A and little a. So we can get a cosine of A. We don't have B, so we don't have big C. So what we're looking at is we need to use this law of cosines with cosine of A. We've got A and B. Again, the one unknown would be C, and notice we have a quadratic unknown. Okay, so we're going to take this formula, A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of A. We're going to plug in the values we have, so there's 12 squared is equal to 14 squared. Not B squared, that's supposed to be C squared. So make sure when you do your formulas you get the right numbers in there. There we go, that's better. We don't know what it is, so that becomes our unknown. That is our unknown. Minus 2 times 14 C times the cosine, and A is given to us as 56. Okay. Since we're going to have a quadratic, this is, we'll put in as x. Let's do all our numbers. Let's move this over by subtracting it eventually. So we've got 144. 14 squared is, we're going to need our calculator anyway. So let's see, 14, 96, 196, yeah, that was it. Some of them they just click. We don't know C squared. 2 times 14 is 28. Cosine of 56, and then C. And then we can subtract the 144, so that we get 0 equals, let's move the cosine, the C squared to the front because it's quadratic. 196 minus 144 is 252, positive 52, and then we get this minus 28 cosine of 56. Now you could plug that in and turn it to a decimal number, but what I'm going to do is, it's a quadratic. Let's graph this and let's enter it as is so we get as much accuracy as possible. So actually I've done this to check. So there's the 52 plus x squared minus 28 cosine of 56 x. So I've replaced C with x. Okay. And then it's all equal to 0, so we've got that. What kind of window? So the other thing we need is, we are in degree mode, so we got to make sure that when you're in your mode that you've changed it to degree. I remember when I was taking this class back in the Stone Age, I would forget to do that. Wait, we didn't have graphing calculators anyway, so we had to do all of this sort of blind, but you still needed to change from radian to degrees. Okay, where were we? Window. The longest this side, if obviously you can move this around, but the biggest it could be 12 plus 14 is 26. It's certainly 26. So 26 is the very max that this side could be and still form a triangle, and it's actually probably a lot less than that. So anyway, I go to 26. Y is going to give us, what does y give us? Because C, x is C. We're looking for where it equals 0, so it doesn't really matter so much about y as long as we can see when y is 0. Okay, but I went from negative 10 to 10. It just seemed to work. When you graph it, this is what you get. It's a quadratic. It intersects in two places. And so remember this, what we've solved, x is c, so we're going to see basically there are two possible triangles here. So we have one where little c will equal, second calc, we use intersect, and that's because we set the second one equal to 0. You do enter, enter, and then since we're already close to one of them, we hit enter again, get the intersection. So one of them is 4.8, rounded to 1 decimal place, right? Solve each triangle that results. Select the correct choice below. Fill in necessary box. Complete your choice. Round the side lengths to the nearest tenth, and angle measures to the nearest degree. Okay, so there's one solution, and then we go second calc. Do number 5 for intersect, and we have to. We could do it second, but first curve will come over here. We'll say enter, enter, and then we're close to it, so we'll put the guess as 10.9. 10.9. Back over there. The other one is C equals 10.9. Okay, so we have two possible values for C, and then those will give us different values for A and B. Okay. So C has these two different values. The other things we need to solve for are the angle of C and the angle of B. Angle of C here, angle of B here. So we could continue using these law of cosines. We could also come back, since we know enough, we could calculate with law of sine now, which is a little easier to work with, and I think that's the route I'll go. So I've got little a and big A, so I'm going to put those down. Little a is 12, big A is sine of 56. I suppose I could have done this with B, because obviously we'll get two angles. Could have done this first also. B is 14, which I could put that in. And then sine of B. So there's two different values that could happen for the sine of B. And we can, again, actually I'll just cross multiply because we need to solve for sine of B. And then we can use the inverse sine. So we get 12 sine of B equals 14 sine of 56. Divide both sides by 12. So this is one of the answers, that sine of B will be equal to this, and then we can take the inverse sine of B and see what we get. Okay. Back to here, 14 sine of 56. Again, we've already checked we're in degree mode, divided by 12. So what we know is that the sine of B equals 0.9672105. And what we can do is we can take the inverse sine, the inverse sine of b, that's what that's going to be, and then we put the answer in there. Notice the little minus sign. We can do a shifted answer to bring it in with all its decimals. So we get 75.28. 75 point, and they want it to the nearest degree. So which one does it go with? Let's see. So if that's that, then we could calculate angle C, because then we've got angle A, B, and C. So we've got 56, we've got 75, and then that means C would be 180 minus 56 minus 75. It's going to be 49. Which of these two sides does that all go with? 75, 49. There's one set. So, to see which ones it goes with, can take another one, maybe C with 49, see which one of them works. My guess, C is 49, this is 75. My guess is it's going to need to be about 10, because it, yeah, 75. 12 is across, so B is 75. That's this angle here. That's 14. That's 12. Degree of 49 needs to be a little bit less than 12, so that's yeah, it's got to be this one. So this is 49. That would make that this would be 10.9. Okay, so I'm kind of going with the angles. This that's 4.8 means that this angle here has to be a lot smaller, which means that B is going to be larger. Probably. Okay, so we put this here as 49. This would be 75. And then now, that's one solution. Remember, there's two places that sine would be positive and have this angle. So to get the other one, again, this is going to be a larger value here. You can solve this without going too far. So sine of B is positive 0.96, so that means that's close to 1, right? 75, here it is, we got it 75 degrees here, which means the other place that would be similar would be over here, which has a reference angle of the 75, which means 180 minus 75 gives us that extra angle, that other angle. So this is the second angle that B could be. So B could be 75, sure, and then it could be this one, because this is also going to give us a positive sign. So 180 minus 75 that's going to be 5, and then that's it. No, 180 minus 75. We borrowed, so that's 7, that's 0, 105. Not quite it. So B is going to be 105, A is 56, and so C is 108 minus those two together. Let's also do that one. So C is going to be 180, subtracting off the 56 for A, and subtracting off the 105 for B. Oh, 180, not 108. I know I couldn't get you can't get a negative angle for a triangle. It wouldn't work. 19. So, and you can see when, the side opposite A is 12, it's 56, so that there's this relationship between them. And then B is 105 is 14. C is, obviously has a lot less. So the smaller angle gives us a smaller side. Okay. And those are the answers. Again, kind of going through like a puzzle. But just kind of have to think your way through it. Thanks.